A very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to this Sunday's edition of Primetime News coming to you live from our news studios in Colombo. I'm Arundhati Mudannaika. Let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines this evening.
A library from Gammatha for Aeguma Primary School in Gaul. Former South African President Thabo Mbeki lays the foundation stone. South African former President Thabo Mbeki in conversation with Siobhan Daniel. 4 fishing boat accidents in 48 hours. 4 dead. Search for 3 missing persons continues. 2 illegally imported luxury vehicles worth 30 million rupees seized in Bandaragama. Linked to relative of former powerful politician from Kaluthara. A group who were lost in Hantana rescued after search operation. International Atomic Energy Agency says that Iran's nuclear facilities which were attacked by Israel can be built within a few months.
And now the stories in detail. Today is a special day for the children of Aeguma Primary School in Alpitia, Gaul. It's also a special day for Gammatha, which has been identifying the needs of the people and carrying forward our efforts to create a better life for all Sri Lankans for over a decade. Thabo Mbeki, former President of South Africa and a globally respected statesman currently visiting Sri Lanka, joined hands with Gammatha today to support our future generation striving to conquer the world of tomorrow.
This school, located in the Valika Divitur Education Division of the LPT Education Zone in Gaul, serves nearly 600 children. Despite the children's equal proficiency in both academic performance and extracurricular activities, the lack of a library had been a significant disadvantage for many years. However, the dream of a library that these children held for years came true today, following a request from the school. In response to the children's innocent dream, Gammatha began work today to provide them with a fully equipped library. This initiative was undertaken with the participation of Thabo Mbeki, former President of South Africa, who is currently visiting Sri Lanka at the invitation of the Capital Maharaja Group. Thabo Mbeki received a warm welcome from the young children of Aeguma Primary School. The foundation stone for the library, a dream that will soon come true for these children, was laid by Thabo Mbeki himself. Joining him for the occasion were Siobhan Daniel, Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Group and Gammatha leader, K.K. Samanchandana, Principal of Aeguma Primary School, and Pupudu Malavara Arachi, LPT Zonal Education Director, as well as many other dignitaries. This library, being built with the contribution of the Gammatha Public Fund, will be named the Thabo Mbeki Library. High Commissioner of South Africa to Sri Lanka, Sandil Shock, Zenith Ambashandjala, Second Secretary Political, High Commission of South Africa, Max Bokwana, Chief Executive Officer of Thabo Mbeki Foundation, Lukanyo Nir, Chief Operating Officer of Thabo Mbeki Foundation, Alan Pillay, PA to former President of South Africa, received a warm welcome from the students at the school.
Today is a very special day for our school. We are going to have a new library initiated by Gammatha movement. Today, we are proud to say that His Excellency the former President of South Africa has come to our school, along with his delegates to lay the foundation stone for the new library in our school premises.
Yasarat Kamal Siri, Deputy Leader of the Gammatha Movement, Prasanna Tukorala, General Secretary Gammatha Movement, Udayavanyarachi, national organizer of the Gammadda movement, Anushka Leuke, head of global affairs, and representatives of the Gammadda movement, including Gayan Sampath, Niresh Eliathambi, and Mayuran Kandavale, were among those present at the event.
Thank you very, very much indeed to the children for the very warm welcome that they extended to us as we arrived. And also thank you very much for the performances here of very talented young artists who did very well indeed, but thanks a lot. But I must also say thanks a lot to Shivan Daniel, the Gammadda movement, which is why we're here. Our presence here is to make what I think is an important statement. And that statement is this. We conducted a long struggle in South Africa to defeat a bad government, the apartheid government. The people of Sri Lanka, very far away, were with us in that struggle. So when we look at the people of Sri Lanka, if they hear, I see people who are fellow liberators of our own people. And so to say, even 30 years after our liberation, thank you very much for the support that the people of Sri Lanka extended to us as we fought a very difficult struggle. And so very, very happy indeed to be part of this occasion. I want to really say to the children here, very, very important. You have been told that I have been a former president of South Africa. And I tell you why I became a former president. A president, not a former one. It was because of books. You can't be a president or a prime minister of this if you don't read books. You can't become a doctor or a lawyer and whatever without reading books. So I'm very, very glad indeed that we're here today to say this important primary school must have its own library, to have books here so that these children who welcomed us here so well, that they have got access to books. So that indeed as they grew up with the habit of reading.
A number of government officials, including Pubudu Malavararachi, LPT's Zonal Education Director, Arunini Sansala, Valivitiya Divithura Assistant Divisional Secretary, MMM Sharfaz, Gona Pinuwala Divisional Secretary, KK Samanchandana, Principal of Aeguma Primary School, and Chief Police Inspector KGP Priyadarshana, Officer in charge of the Bategama Police Station, joined hands with the Gammadda initiative.
The connection to people, Your Excellency, is something that must be underlined if we are to build a future for this country. And Gammadda as a movement was born out of the need for that connection with people. We as an organization, Your Excellency, can quite simply report the news. We can quite simply focus on our entertainment. But the founder of Gammadda, the late R. Rajamahendran, pushed us out of our comfort zone to the village. His command to us was, go to the people. And that's what we did. Initially without much knowledge or awareness, but today, the movement that we created over a decade ago, nearly 2 decades ago, it started as a whisper, is a loud chorus that the entire world is listening to. And to have you here, and to have your entire delegation here, is a day we'll treasure for always.
The principal of Aeguma Primary School shared his thoughts on this special day for their school.
As the former president who played a key role in shaping post-apartheid South Africa, your life has been a message to the world that leadership with vision, justice and compassion can transform a nation. Today, as you lay the foundation stone for our new library building, you are laying not just bricks, but the foundation for knowledge, equality, and a better future for the blooming buds of Sri Lanka.
The principal later presented a commemorative gift to President Thabo Mbeki. Following the program, South African President Thabo Mbeki also didn't forget to engage in friendly conversations with the young children and Gammatha representatives. Gammatha is naming this library, which is expected to be completed within a few months, the Thabo Mbeki Library, with the hope of seeing more such statesmen emerge from this school.
Former South African President Thabo Mbeki took part in a powerful and thought-provoking leadership forum on his third day in the country. The Circle of Dreams Leadership Forum was held at the Cinnamon Life at City of Dreams, Sri Lanka, yesterday. The event was chaired by former President of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki. The Leadership Forum was organized with the goal of encouraging extraordinary leaders for the future. People from various sectors, including business and sports, were present at the event. The Circle of Dreams program provided an opportunity for the former President of South Africa and accomplished global statesman Thabo Mbeki to share his experiences with the attendees. Attendees at the Leadership Forum were also given the chance to directly pose their questions to Thabo Mbeki. The program focused on themes such as the problems and challenges faced by people in the society and new social trends, receiving a highly positive response from the invited guests. After the program, President Thabo Mbeki also engaged in a friendly conversation with those present.
Former South African President Thabo Mbeki offered far-sighted insights of the future, drawing on South Africa's liberation struggle, reconciliation and nation building. He shared these perspectives in a conversation with CMG Group Director Siobhan Daniel.
South Africa's former President Thabo Mbeki gave a wide range of unique and far-sighted points to ponder about the future of Sri Lanka by describing the liberation struggle, reconciliation and nation-building process of South Africa in conversation with CMG Group Director Siobhan Daniel. President Mbeki was speaking on the topic of looking forward, the importance of building the future while reconciling the past, in the presence of top corporate CEOs and diplomats at the Cinnamon Life at City of Dreams, Sri Lanka. Responding to a question by Siobhan Daniel on how the African National Congress Party, or the ANC, successfully brought together a nation that was enormously fragmented politically and wove it together into a united country, President Mbeki stressed that the oppressed people of South Africa defined for themselves the new South Africa they were fighting for. President Mbeki asserted that those in office must be honest with the people and be firmly committed to a process of regular consultation with the people to explain to the people why you are doing certain things in a certain way. Responding to a question by Siobhan Daniel as how the ANC balanced the multiple requirements of feeding the people, rebuilding the economy, giving people hope and working towards reconciliation, President Mbeki pointed out that as an economy improves, the government must strengthen its social security net. He added that as the quality of life improves, political support for the party in office also grows. The ANC received 62% of the vote in the 1994 election, which grew to 66% in 5 years and 70% in another 5 years. However, President Mbeki warned that those who oppose change will try to disrupt the process. He explained that there has been a deliberate attempt to weaken South African government by disrupting the work of key institutions such as the South African Revenue Service, electricity and transport. He noted that the response to such disruptions must be a further national dialogue that should involve all segments of society, such as women, youth and business people, and not simply politicians. They must decide that this is the South Africa they want and the South Africa they don't want, as there is no sovereign authority above the people. President Mbeki emphasized that when ordinary people bring about a revolution, these same people must be involved in defending the new nation.
News First with the people.
The fourth fishing accident within the last 48 hours was reported from the Paravival area in Tangol. This afternoon, the body of one of the missing fishermen was recovered while search operations continue to locate the other.
The multi-day fishing vessel Maxim Puta 1 set out to sea from the Tangol Paravivalla harbour on the night of the 27th with 6 fishermen on board. The vessel is reported to have capsized after colliding with a rock in the sea near the Tangol harbour. 6 fishermen were on the boat at the time of the accident and 2 of them have been reported missing. Navy media spokesperson said that the remaining fishermen were rescued and admitted to the Tangol base hospital. Continuous search operations were carried out to locate the 2 missing fishermen with the assistance of an Air Force KA-350 Beechcraft aircraft.
විනාඩි 10ක් විතර වගේ තිබුණා තිබුණ ඊපස්සේ බෝට්ටුව අනිත් පැත්ත ගැව්වා. ඒ 4 දිනක් ගෙනාව ගොඩාට. අපි ටිකක් කෙව්වා අනිත් මේ දෙන්න එන්නද කියලා බලන්න බලාගන්න බැරුණා ඊට පස්සේ අපි කොමාරේ ගොඩාට ඇවිල්ලා ආයි ගියා බලන්නේ ඒත් බැරුණා. මේ ඊට පස්සේ තමයි ගිහින් මේ බෝට්ටුව ඇදගෙන ආවේ. එළිතර 9ක් 10ක් අතර තමයි මහත්තයා ගෙදරින් ආවේ. මගේ මාමගේ පුතත් එක්ක ආවේ. ඊයේ තමයි ආරංචි වුණේ. අපේ පැත්තේ මල්ලි කෙනෙක් ඇවිල්ලා කිව්වේ ගෙදරට.
After hours of search operations conducted by the Sri Lanka Navy and Air Force, the body of one of the 2 missing fishermen was recovered this afternoon. The body was identified as that of 39-year-old Chamil Madhuantha. Search efforts to locate the other fishermen are ongoing. A small fishing vessel that set out to sea from Moragalla in Kalutara has also met with an accident and 2 fishermen were reported missing. Despite several search operations carried out since yesterday to locate the 2 missing fishermen, they were not found. The ill-fated boat had washed ashore last night. The bodies of the 2 missing fishermen had washed ashore along the Bentara coast this morning. The deceased are 47-year-old Ravindranadun Kumara, a resident of Kaluamodara, Alutgama, and 43-year-old Duminda Jagat Kumara, and they are both members of the same family. The fishermen had gone out to sea on the 27th of June, cast their nets and returned. They had ventured out to sea again to check on the nets, and this is when their boat had capsized. Search operations are continuing to locate a fisherman who went missing after a multi-day fishing vessel capsized near the Dondra Fisheries Harbour in Mathura. The vessel Dinesh 4 had 5 fishermen on board at the time of the incident. 2 fishermen lost their lives while 2 others trapped in the vessel were rescued. The Navy stated that according to a surviving crew member, the vessel collided with a merchant ship in Sri Lankan waters between 9 and 10 nautical miles off the coast of Galle. Air Force media spokesperson Group Captain Erandagi Ganage confirmed that a Beechcraft aircraft has been deployed to assist in the ongoing search for the missing fisherman. The missing fisherman is a 39-year-old father of 3 from Velegoda, Devinuwara.
ස්කීපර් තමයි මගේ මහත්තයා. මෙයා ගැන තාම ආරංචියක් මුකුත් නැහැ. හොයමින් පවතින එක තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ਉਹ හොඳට පුරුදුයි ක්ලීනන්නේ ඒව මේව හොඳටම පුරුදුයි. ගියපු දවසේ හවස කතා කරා බබත් එක්ක. එච්චරයි ඊට පස්සේ සිග්නල් තිබ්බේ නැහැ මට ගන්න. කොහෙන් කොහොම හරි කරලා අපිට මෙයා හොයලා දෙන්නේ කියන එක තමයි.
Meanwhile, 43-year-old Sujit Samantha, also a father of 3 from Velegoda, lost his life in the same incident.
තාත්තා සාවිගේ සිකුරාදා යනකොට උදේ අපිත් එක්ක කතා කරා ෆෝන් එකේ උදේ කතා කරලා දවල් කතා කරා හවසත් කතා කරා රාත් කතා කරා ඊට පස්සේ උදේ තමයි ආරංචි වුණේ බෝට්ටුව නැවේ හැප්පිලා ඊට පස්සේ තාත්තට කරදරයක් වෙලා ගියලා.
4 fishing boats have capsized in the past 48 hours, leaving 4 fishermen dead and 6 others injured. 3 more fishermen are still reported missing. The Meteorological Department has urged fishermen to exercise caution in the sea areas off the coast from Chilau to Colombo, Galle and from Hambantota to Pothuil due to the risk of rising sea waves. Deputy Minister of Fisheries, Aquatic and Marine Resources, Ratnagamage commented on the ongoing incidents.
On behalf of the Ministry of Fisheries and the government, we express our deepest condolences to the fishing community. As dangerous incidents continue to rise, the fishing industry is facing serious challenges. We, at the Ministry of Fisheries, have decided to appoint a committee chaired by the Director of the Fisheries Department. This committee will include representatives from the Navy, the Naval Secretariat, the Sri Lanka Army and the Sri Lanka Air Force to investigate these accidents. It is also essential that life jackets are worn. This simple step can help save the lives of our fishermen. We are looking into all aspects of this issue.
Navy spokesperson Commander Buddhika Sampath said that the arrests were made early this morning in the Sea of Sri Lanka off Thalemena. The Navy has also impounded the vessel and fishing gear which was used by the fishermen. Steps have been taken to transport the Indian vessel and gear that was impounded along with the arrested suspects to the Thalpadu jetty in Mannar.
Sri Lanka, 65,610 square kilometers. Sri Lanka's exclusive economic zone, over 512,000 square kilometers. Call it what it is.
The Sea of Sri Lanka.
8 students who had lost their way while touring Hantana due to adverse weather conditions were found by a search party comprising police and army personnel.
A group of 8 from Ratamulla Kandy had toured the Hantana mountain range since last morning. Police said that the group included a 12-year-old girl. The remaining members were between the ages of 16 and 29. After summiting the mountain, the group had begun their trek back down the mountain. At about 6 p.m., the group had lost their way due to extreme weather conditions and thick mist. The group had informed their relatives of the situation, after which the police and the army had launched a search operation. The group was admitted to the Peradeniya hospital for medical attention, after which they were discharged and sent home.
A protest was held in Veerakettiya last night following the death of an individual in a road accident. Relatives of the deceased, along with local residents, accused the authorities of failing to carry out a proper and transparent investigation into the incident.
A road accident occurred last Friday in front of the Veerakettiya fairground on the Veerakettiya-Middeniya road when a pedestrian was hit by a passing vehicle. The injured individual was admitted to the Veerakettiya hospital and later passed away yesterday. The victim was a 48-year-old father of 4 from the same area. A protest was held in Veerakettiya last night over the recent fatal road accident. Protesters alleged that a woman was driving the vehicle at the time of the incident. However, they claimed that a male had been presented to the police as the driver was granted bail yesterday. Police also arrived at the scene of the protest. The protesters called for a fair and immediate investigation into the tragic accident. In response to the allegations, Veerakettiya police said their inquiries revealed that it was a man who had been driving with his wife as a passenger. They added that the man's statement had been properly recorded and that all procedures were followed.
The 20th anniversary celebrations of the Department of Law of the University of Jaffna were held today.
The 20th anniversary celebrations of the Department of Law, University of Jaffna were held today at the Kailasapati Auditorium. The event was graced by the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Jaffna, Professor Sivakalunda Sri Satkunaraja, the Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Professor S. Raghuram, the Head of the Law Department of the University of Jaffna, Senior Lecturer, Attorney at Law, Kosale Madan, and faculty members of the university. The event's chief guest was Justice A.H.M.D. Nawaz, Judge of the Supreme Court, with Attorney at Law Mala Sabaratnam as the guest of honor and Attorney at Law B.N. Thabo as the special guest. The panel discussion was held with the participation of the President of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, Attorney at Law Rajiv Amarasuriya, the President of Sri Lanka Law College, President's Counsel Prasantalal Dialvis, along with several other lawyers. The discussion was moderated by State Counsel N. Nishant.
I observe in the current law students, some of you join law chambers, some of you join even chambers of justices, and we find that certain deficiencies characterize the students. I'm not saying this just to discourage you. I'm saying this as an inspirational thought to some of you, law students who have just been out of universities writing hire purchase, H-I-G-H-E-R, when it should be hire purchase, H-I-R-E. Look at the judgments that are produced by the superior courts of this country. I was jokingly telling some of my brothers that we are not producing anything new. Concepts have been laid down. As you know, the rules have been set down in the statutes. We tend to interpret them. So interpretation of the same sections and articles have been made by great judges in the past. If at all, if you look up the judgments delivered for the last 10 years, you would see the interpretation placed on them. When we interpret them now, we apply the facts to the law that has already been set down, and that is one reason as to why we do not set down anything new. As you all know, we are bound by this doctrine of stare decisis in certain areas of the law. I would say, if you wish to walk into a court in the future, look up the case law that has come out for the last 5 years, and you would be well equipped to face the world or face the legal arena, the dusty arena of the courts in this country.
Tensions arose at the Valika Pradeshiya Sabha after 2 members from the National People's Power were abducted, leading to the postponement of the council session. Both opposition groups and the National People's Power expressed their views today.
The inaugural session of the Valika Pradeshiya Sabha, where no party won a clear majority in the provincial council elections, was held last Friday morning under the leadership of Southern Province Local Government Commissioner Umanga Mendes. During the session, allegations were raised that 2 members elected from the National People's Power to the Valika Pradeshiya Sabha had been abducted. Later, the commissioner abruptly adjourned the council without setting a date to reconvene. Today, the Samagijana Balawegya held a press conference to express their concerns regarding the situation.
They deliberately committed a crime. They acted like this wasn't just any offense, but something much more serious. Carrying out these disruptive actions on purpose, we are challenging the government. If they have the courage, let them hold fresh elections for the Valika Pradeshiya Sabha. We want to make it clear that all 23 of us are united, no matter if it takes a week, a month or longer. We are determined that power in the Valika Pradeshiya Sabha will be established, and it will happen.
The National People's Power also held a press conference today to respond to the allegations made against them.
ප්‍රධාන විපක්ෂය සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්තයා ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ කතා කරන අතරේ එයා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ
While the main opposition leader Sajith Premadasa talks about democracy in parliament, his actions both inside parliament and outside tells a different story. Since stepping into district level politics, he struggled to control powerful forces, leading to conflicts that were exposed during the recent Valika Provincial Council chairman election. This is a statement that was made public. A list of properties that have been frozen because of connections to drugs and underworld activities on that list. Lasantha Vikramasekara, also known as Lasa, is ranked 8th. A jeep worth over 10.21 million rupees was seized from his property, which clearly links him to these activities. There's no need to keep questioning this. The evidence is sufficient. Despite this, they are trying to appoint him as the leader of Sajith Premadasa's village.
Two super luxury vehicles valued at over 30 million rupees imported to Sri Lanka illegally were seized by the police. Balan Anti-Corruption Unit stated that the vehicles belong to a close associate of a former powerful Kalutara district politician.
A Mitsubishi Montero and a caravan were seized by the police. The vehicles are suspected to belong to a close associate of a former powerful politician in Kalutara. The Western Provincial Intelligence Division took the van into custody after receiving information that it was hidden in a house in Aeguma. It reportedly belonged to an individual from Aeguma. Police say another vehicle bearing the same registration number was found in Millenia, Horana. That vehicle was legally registered and used by a person attached to a security unit, according to preliminary investigations. Further inquiries revealed that the registration number of the seized jeep had been altered and illegally entered into the Department of Motor Vehicles system. Several special teams have been deployed to locate and arrest the individual connected to the vehicles.
The Sri Lanka Press Association hosted a musical event in Colombo to mark its 70th anniversary and support the DF Karyakaravana Journalism Awards 2025.
The Sri Lanka Press Association organised Melodies with the Media, a musical evening held on Saturday in Colombo. The special charity concert was organised in celebration of the Sri Lanka Press Association's 70th anniversary and in support of the DF Karyakaravana Memorial Journalism Awards 2025. Sirasa TV was the official media sponsor for the event.
The Indonesian Festival and Bazar 2025 took place last night in Colombo.
The Indonesian Festival and Bazar 2025, organised in collaboration with the Sri Lanka-Indonesia Friendship Association, was held last night. The event served as both a cultural showcase and a charity bazaar aimed at strengthening the bonds of friendship between the two nations while supporting those in need. The event also marked the 70th anniversary of the Asian African Conference, which Indonesia and Sri Lanka co-initiated in 1955.
The Asia-Africa Conference that was co-sponsored by the government of Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Burma, India and Pakistan and attended by 24 nations is considered historical because it was an important step towards a forming global South position against the prevailing colonial orders.
Sri Lanka and Indonesia have remained committed to a policy of non-alignment, which has become very relevant today amidst rivalries among major power blocs. This historic event reminds us all of how closely our two countries have worked together since independence in promoting global peace and solidarity. Sri Lanka is especially keen to further consolidate our partnership with Indonesia, particularly our economic and cultural ties, and to encourage stronger connectivity between our two peoples.
The bazaar featured 42 stalls offering a rich array of Indonesian and Sri Lankan food, fashion, handicrafts, books and more.
Taking a look at a developing story for tonight, the head of the UN's nuclear watchdog has said that Iran has the capacity to start enriching uranium again for a possible bomb in a matter of months.
Rafael Grossi, head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, said the US strikes on 3 Iranian sites last weekend had caused severe but not total damage, contradicting Donald Trump's claim that Iran's nuclear facilities were totally obliterated. Israel attacked nuclear and military sites in Iran on the 13th of June, claiming Iran was close to building a nuclear weapon. The US later joined the strikes, dropping bombs on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities, Fordo, Natanz and Isfahan. Since then, the true extent of the damage has been unclear. Rafael Grossi has said that Tehran could have, in a matter of months, a few cascades of centrifuges spinning and producing enriched uranium. He added that Iran still possessed the industrial and technological capacities, so if they so wish, they will be able to start doing this again. Earlier this week, a leaked preliminary Pentagon assessment found the US strikes probably only set the program back by months. Trump retorted furiously by declaring that Iran's nuclear sites were completely destroyed and accused the media of an attempt to demean one of the most successful military strikes in history. For now, Iran and Israel have agreed to a ceasefire, but Trump has said he would absolutely consider bombing Iran again if intelligence found that it could enrich uranium to concerning levels.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.